Have you ever wondered about the bacteria and how it's produced? Bacteria is everywhere. But have you ever thought about bacteria that's in your food? Have you ever thought about the working conditions that people go through in such factory farms? They're unhealthy and stressful for the work environment. Well, workers are subject to the increased exposure to the air pollutions, including particulate matter carrying mold, animal matter, and pathogens. Exposure to these pathogens can lead to respiratory illness, and an estimate 1/4 of hog containment workers suffer from chronic bronchitis. This was found from the Journalist of Farming and Safety. So with that being said, today I will talk about the harmful conditions about factory farming, including harmful working conditions, the threat to public health, and food safety risks. The working conditions, so the factory farming can affect the working conditions for those workers and as well as the animals that we eat or we consume the meat. The journalist from the Vertical News has stated that a lot of the factories in the United States are more polluted than many cities. Quote, factory farms, the test sites in the United States are dirtier than the American most polluted cities and expose workers to concentration of pollution far above the occupation safety guidelines, according to the new report from the Environmental Integrity, the project, the factory farming. Another harmful working condition for these workers is the fact that they work in unsafe locations. From the study of 2016, from farming and food, 6 out of every 100 workers in these animal production industries report a work-related injury or illness. Tyson, a meat packaging plant, reported an average of 1 amputation per month during the first month of 2015. The working conditions for these workers should be better and not have to risk themselves just for work. Since we have seen the working conditions from the factory farms, we're going to see some of the causes and why it still exists today. A possible solution for the end of this farm, the causes why factory farming still exists today is the fact that one of the main reasons is to keep up with the production and consuming of many people. According to Thought & Co., the answer is simple. The scientists, economics, and the farmers have agreed that the farm is the only way to keep up with such production. Quote, the fact that many people are still purchasing this meat is the way the company keeps producing more and making it easier and cheaper, easier ways for the profit as well. The production of this meat is still high due to the increase of population still today. From Food and Safety, they have stated that, quote, the fact that the people still eat their meat is the number one logic reason to keeping up with this old technology that is still alive, quote, which still makes producers or production still being consumed from these so-called farms. Lastly, from the factory farming conditions, one of the causes and why it still exists today, the solution of the people to minimize these types of farms. One of the solutions for factory farming is that the factory farming could come to its end. Well, it's not that simple or easy, but it could be reduced. According to Think & Co., there is an estimated 7.5 billion hungry people to feed from 2019. Many of these farm methods are not accessible or satisfying for such demand. So if you help with this decreased number is by purchasing from your small and local farms that you actually know where this meat is coming from and its conditions. A smarter choice is to help the environment and to help reduce the carbon footprint that we have today. Lastly, I hope you think about where your meat is coming from. Eat less meat, hopefully, and reduce the carbon footprint instead of using or going to the market to buy such meats. You could use sustainable farms near you, or could possibly go to a farm, a smaller local farm, and seek more information about your meat. Thank you.